Hi guys, thanks for coming to Pass Middle School ELA. Today's topic is point of view in nonfiction. As a reminder, point of view is another word for perspective, and it is the position from which you are looking at something. It's also closely related to opinion. So let's take a look at this comic as a review. The first panel shows the situation from the point of view of the man on the island. He's excited to see the boat, maybe because he's been stranded. Meanwhile, in the second panel, the viewer sees it from the point of view of the man in the boat. He is excited to see the island because he's probably been in the boat for a long time. This comic shows two different points of view about the same situation. So just like in this comic, just like you and me have a point of view about things in daily life, authors normally come to the table with a point of view about what they are writing. So the way to determine the author's point of view or the author's perspective is to look first at the topic of the passage and then determine how the author feels about that topic. Those two things together equal the author's point of view. So let's look a little more closely. How do we do this? To find the topic of the passage, normally this might jump right out at you, but if it does not, you can use clues like the title, subheadings, as well as any ideas that come up over and over throughout the passage. That should tell you what it's mainly about. Next comes the real work, determining how the author actually feels about the topic. You can use words or phrases that give you either a positive or a negative feeling or vibe as you're reading. So certain details the authors use might give you a little bit of a clue about how they're really feeling. Those two things together can help you determine the author's point of view. It's usually an opinion statement because everyone has an opinion about what they're saying or writing. Let's take a look at an example. Many adolescents look forward to getting their driver's license when they turn 18. Driving is a major responsibility, though, and a lot for teenagers to handle. It is important to take a driver's education course and practice the minimum amount of required hours with a responsible adult in the car. Even after completing the requirements, many young adults still have the potential to make mistakes behind the wheel if they are not careful. If you are getting your driver's license soon, remember to always put your own safety and that of others above anything else. You can see I outlined in red the topic of the passage, and here are my clues. There was no title, but we could see the same idea repeating. It is all about adolescents getting their driver's license. I see this phrase, driving, a driver's education course, driver's license, etc. So the same idea repeats multiple times. That gave me a major clue what the passage is about. Now here's the tricky part. How does the author feel about the topic? Well, I see here that the driver thinks learning to drive is a lot for teenagers to handle. That kind of has a negative feeling. It kind of implies that teenagers might not be able to handle it. Next, I see a phrase here that they might make mistakes behind the wheel. This has a very negative feeling to it, and it almost feels like the writer is warning us. Lastly, remember to always put your own safety and that of others above anything else. Yes, safety is a positive thing, but the author telling us to remember kind of gives a vibe of correcting or admonishing, almost a negative feeling. So all those things together give me the point of view that the author believes that driving is a serious responsibility not to be taken lightly. The author clearly has an opinion, and so your point of view statement should always be an opinion. Let's take a look at some sample questions you might see on this topic. Which statement best represents the author's perspective? In order to answer this question, whether it's short response or multiple choice, you should follow the steps described in this video. Determine the topic, use word choice to determine how the author feels, and then choose the choice that matches best. Next, the author conveys his or her point of view by, well, as we just mentioned, the author uses strong details or word choice with a certain feeling attached to them in order to do this. So you may construct an answer using one of those two things on a short response, or you may see this in a multiple choice. Lastly, we have how does paragraph blank, like paragraph 2, paragraph 3, support the author's position? Well, you should follow the steps as described in the video, and then determine, are they using strong details? Are they using strong word choice to convey this point of view? It really depends on the passage, but these are 3 questions that you might see. I know that was quick, but I hope it helped. So thanks for watching and happy studying.